Well, on the 5th year anniversary of Bendy and the Ink Machine, Bendy and the Dark Revival finally showed up out of nowhere. What is this, SmackNPie? SmackNPie here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bendy and the Dark Revival video here on the channel. So in the beginning of this year, I made a video talking about this year belongs to Ink Demon. I mean, 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is already out, so this year should belong to the Ink Demon, and alongside, Darkness of Chapter 5 is also coming soon. But enough of that. Today was the 5th year anniversary, 10th of February. We were expecting something big. Gonna be honest with you, I'm lying. I didn't expect anything because it's Bendy. What are we talking about? It's been 5 years. Out of nowhere. First, the immediately pops out of nowhere and says, today we're gonna have a new teaser. And then everybody's panicking. And then a few hours later, Bendy and the Dark Girl gets a new teaser. On your screens right now, as you can see, is our new Bendy and the Dark Revival teaser. Oh my goodness, it's actually a 4K teaser. Like, I'm not even making this up. The original resolution is actually above 4K. It's 4096 x 4096. What else do you want? So here, as you can see, Gent, as always, involved heavily with this Joey Drew Studios, this iteration of the story from Bendy and the Dark Revival. A couple things I want to say before we get to the heavy lore stuff. Like, if you zoom in, let me brighten it up for you guys. First things first, it says the pit. So this is where we go towards the pit. Now understand, this is after the studio was alive and working and whatnot. Since this is not a prequel nor a sequel, we gotta understand it's not like employees are still working here. I mean, they are here, but they're not working here. Like, still they're working, but not like as a human form, but like ink form. You guys know what I'm talking about, the lost ones and whatnot. Then it says on the top, please have your identification ready, and then top level badges required. It's obvious. There is just so much Bioshock I see right here. Like, I have never seen so much Bioshock in my life since Bioshock until now. And it says Deep 6 level badge required beyond this point. So you're gonna have to go around collecting badges just like 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Not that 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is the only game ever to create security badges, but it's like the recent things, and a lot of people have seen and played 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, so I'm trying to connect that with that. But it also takes us into another side of the studio where we haven't seen, the one we haven't seen, the one we haven't, experienced, and it shows that there's this whole different side to Joey Drew Studios that was hidden from the surface. Even as Henry, we didn't get to see a lot of these places. And speaking of Henry, I mean, Allison did. And why am I saying Allison did? Well, speaking of Allison and Henry, if you look on your right, first of all, we got a spinning chair. Oh my god, my dream is coming true. If we have a mechanic where we can sit and spin for even just a few seconds, 10 out of 10 game. But enough of that. You see the table, but on that table it says Contraband, and you see an axe from Chapter 2, Vinyl Record, and freaking mirror. See-through mirror, I like to call it see-through mirror from Bendy and the Ink Machine, Chapter 5. This is a big deal. This is actually a very big deal, because if you remember back in Chapter 5, Allison mentioned this thing, that she's seen something like this, and we know the purpose of this is to see the messages that's been left behind, right? It could be our messages, and because we were playing in this time loop, of course it was our message, because Henry was stuck in a time loop as well. So he wrote it because he would forget every time the loop would start, so he would start over. So he kept writing on the wall so that he would remember things before and after, so that he can change at least some outcomes and try to change whatever and whatnot. But interesting enough, it says contraband, meaning illegal stuff that's been brought here, smuggled in the studio. No wonder Axe would be there, would be one of them, and that see-through mirror too. But what's interesting is that vinyl record. Why is it in the contraband? Why? It's really fascinating. It could be a nod to previous Bendy and the Ink Machine, just like Easter eggs, because we know immediately said that there's going to be a ton of them. There's going to be a ton of Easter eggs and secrets in there, so that could be one of them. But my point is, because it's no prequel or sequel, it just helps us understand the time loop that we're in of basically, hey, since Allison is going to be in this game and Audrey's going to be in here, it means that we're kind of sort of going through the same timeline as Henry, because Allison's seen to this, so it might help us a little bit in understanding where exactly in the timeline of Bendy and the Ink Machine this portion of the game falls into, or portion of the story, because we know it's not a sequel or prequel, but within the timeline of this game and Bendy and the Ink Machine, we can say, okay, maybe it's before. And also one more thing, it could also mean that Henry might have been around this area, but it's just that we haven't seen it because he would have been around in this area of the studio and in one of his time loops, but it's just that we didn't get to see that in the original game. But anyways, there's a lot to unpack here, and we just did, by the way, and there's even more. Like, I can just sit here and talk about the quality, the visuals, and then even for the lore here, like the pit, 100% Ink Demon is down there. Like, I'm putting my money right here. Ink Demon will make his presence known. He might have already made his presence known before, but here we will see him. Like, I'm putting my prediction right out there right now. Number one. And number two, we can even go as far to say, okay, maybe we would have had checkups here for the employees to see if they have top level badges here. You can see the rail 2 lines are made so that if there are more to counter a ton of people crowding at once. I love this kind of storytelling. I really love this kind of storytelling because it's environmental storytelling. You let everything speak for itself. You don't explain anything. And this is why I loved Bendy originally, because they don't explain anything. They don't explain anything. It's just that you learn everything from the environment. And the title for this teaser was Be Drawn to Fear. Audrey is drawn to Ink Demon. We already know that. Audrey is now going to the pit where the Ink Demon lies for now, and come on now, it's too easy for your boy SmackNPie. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have more videos coming soon for Bendy and the Dark Revival, so what do? It is very simple. You subscribe, you stay tuned, you follow me to the Instagram, the SmackNPie, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care, freaky bitch. Thank you, well done, good job.